Hello everyone, this is the CI Agent, and welcome back to our playthrough of Coffee Talk. It's gonna be another day at the cafe. Let's get back into it. In-game it's Sunday, September 27, 2020. Check our outfits. Let's start off with one of these short stories I forgot to read in the past few in-game days. Yeah, Death Drives by Freya Fatima. Death drives, but sometimes he commutes. When that happens, you know for sure, because his presence is clear all over the news. But still, mostly, Death drives. I realized this fact after returning from a long trip to Tokyo I took recently. As usual, I drive to work every day thanks to the unreliable public transportation here. I noticed that every day, my life is always on the line. No, not on the line as in we will eventually die and we don't know when. On the line as in we're all at war with everyone else. We're in a war between pedestrians, cyclists, motorcycles, cars, and everything else on the road. And during all of that, Death is either driving or sitting in the car seat next to us. Ever since realizing this, I started to drive more carefully. I drive as if my parents are sitting next to me and telling me how to drive slower. Because I know Death is not like who's driving. He's not as forgiving as my parents. You want to order anything else? I'm good for now. I'll order again once I finish reading this. Okay then. I'll leave you with whatever that is. Oh man. Oh, Aqua. Can't see seeing you again so soon.
Hi, Freya. Hi, Agent.
Good evening, Miss Aqua.
How are you two doing?
Same old. I'm good, how about you?
I'm fine, thank you. And you? Oops. I asked that already. I'm sorry.
Don't worry about it.
Is Myrtle here?
So far, it's only me and Agent. We have you with us now, of course. Are you meeting her here tonight?
Oh, it's not bad. I was just wondering where she's coming here again tonight.
You have your email, right?
Yeah.
Why don't you just tell her to come and meet you here now? That always works for me whenever I want to talk to someone.
That wouldn't be nice. It's not that important anyway. I just wanted to follow up on the questions her team sent today. Follow up directly, I mean. Anyway, I should order something.
Take your time, Miss Aqua.
It's right, I'll order now. I'll have a cup of tea with lemon and cinnamon, please.
Lemon. Russian tea. Here you go.
Oh, it looks so pretty. If I'm not mistaken, it's called Russian tea, right?
Oh, you do?
I heard about it once. I'm pretty sure the only part that's Russian is the name. It was originally from a community cookbook or something.
You're right. Well, that's a highly specific fun fact to know.
I guess I spend too much time browsing the internet. When did you arrive, Freya?
I've been here since you left last night. Finish drinking first, Aqua.
I'm sorry. Is it you haven't left?
I was just joking.
Oh. That would be crazy.
Why?
Oh no. I didn't mean to offend you or anything. It's just that you should forget to take breaks. You too, Agent. Please make sure you get enough rest.
Of course I will, Miss Aqua. Thank you for the reminder. By the way, Aqua,
Yes?
where do you come from? Because, judging from your accent, you're not from the States, right?
I'm not. I'm from the ocean.
Oh, so you're a full-fledged oceanic?
Born and raised in the sea. I don't know what accent that would be, so I'm not gonna try.
Why'd you move here?
Chasing the American dream, I guess.
You moved with your family?
No, I'm the only one who could move here.
Oh. May I know why?
It's not easy for our people, especially the females, to get higher education. I got scholarships and the opportunity. I wasn't sure about moving, you know, but my parents pushed me to do it.
How long have you been here?
Almost 2 years now.
Do your parents visit often?
I can't. Do you know how hard it is for my people to get a US visa?
I'm sorry to hear that.
It's okay, we're still in contact. We do a video call at least once a week.
Do you have siblings?
Of course. We are sea people. The extended family is probably as big as Seattle's population.
Whoa. That's a lot. You really have that many relatives?
Of course not. I was just exaggerating. But if you count my grandpa's kids and grandkids, there are hundreds of us.
Holy.
How about you, Freya? Do you have any siblings?
I have. Not as many as you, I assume. I have a little brother. 4 years younger.
He also lives in Seattle?
No, he's living in San Francisco. Near our parents' house. He's a good kid, I'm the rebel. Working some high-end tech job. Well, taking care of my dad on the weekends.
That's so nice of him.
I know, right? That reminds me. I should visit my parents after finishing this draft.
You should. Visit them while you can.
I know. Anyway, I want to order something. Another espresso? You know, the usual. Coming right up. Your espresso's ready. Thanks. Ah, bitter. Just the way I love it. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
How can I help you, sir?
Yes. I don't know what's wrong.
Something to raise your spirits, perhaps? Nothing you like on the menu? I can make you a custom drink if you like.
Actually, are you familiar with STMJ?
I'm sorry, I've never heard of it. If you can tell me the ingredients, I'm sure I can recreate it.
Huh, lucky me. STMJ stands for Susu Telur Malaysia. It's Indonesian. It means milk, egg, honey, and ginger.
Understood. Wait, do you have the eggs? I certainly have. And on the shop. I'll add the egg once I mix the rest of the ingredients.
I'd love it.
Both of STMJ. was milk. Honey and ginger. Here's your STMJ. Let's see. You almost got it. I'm sorry. Okay to point down the blue sticks? I guess it's done. Should put the ginger in after that. Noted. Don't worry about it though. I've traveled to so many places in the States. And none of them got the STMJ right. Yeah, ingredient order is important. Excuse me, may I ask you girl something? Sure, ask away. What kind of things do you kids like doing nowadays? Excuse me? Aren't you college students? No, we're not. I see. May I ask how old you are? You're being creepy, old man. Go back to your chair and keep your distance. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be creepy. Hey, Agent. Who's this pervy old man? I have no idea, it's his first time here. I want to be able to understand young people. I got you here, Officer Georgie. What's up? There's a creepy old man trying to flirt with us. Where? You mean him? Yes, but not so loud. This man here is Rachel's dad, Freya. He asked to meet me, so I told him to come here. Oh. I didn't know that Rachel's dad was a pervy old man. No wonder she ran away from home. Everyone, please see Mr. Furlong, Rachel's dad. Mr. Furlong, please meet Freya and Agent. Please, call me Henry. I apologize for earlier. I wasn't trying anything funny. I'm sorry about that. Wait a minute. Your name is Henry Furlong? Yes. And you're Rachel Florencia's father? Yes. Furlong? Florencia? Why do you have different last names? What are you trying to pull? Florencia was my late wife's maiden. Oh. I'm sorry. Rachel chose it for her stage name. Freya. Hey, I think I better work on my novel. I'm sure you guys have a lot to talk about. Yeah, Freya, I'll come with you. Anyway, what was it that you want to talk to me about? It's about Rachel. At night when you drove her home, was she hanging out with shady people? Well, I think one of them was a bit shady. Hey, I heard that. What? I'm not a criminal. I'm just kidding. She was in this coffee shop, talking with Freya and Agent here. She wasn't in any danger. Are you sure? What about before that? Well, calm down. Is everything alright? It's just that I feel like she's getting more and more distant. I don't know how to talk to her anymore, or even what to talk about. I don't know what kids her age are into nowadays.
Every time we talked, we ended up fighting. I have 3 daughters. We fight all the time. One thing that I learned: give them time and space, but be there when they need you. Or you can just bribe them. One time I had a fight with my eldest daughter. She didn't want to talk to me for a week. I know she loves pizza, so I went to Rocco's and bought her favorite pie. Left the pizza on the table like a trap. Then I just waited for her to take a bite, just like a stakeout. Once she took a bite of that delicious pepperoni, I casually got the slice and sat with her. That pizza really helped smooth things over. After that, she wouldn't stop talking. What if what she loves doing is the problem? Rachel loves singing and performing on stage. I'm proud of what she has achieved with her career. She's really young. But the entertainment industry isn't a kind place. Not the label, not the media, not the fans. And I don't trust her new manager. Rachel's just a little girl. What if she gets harassed? Or forced to do drugs? Did it happen? Did something happen? Well, nothing's happened yet. I just feel it in my guts. Is it possible that you're just being paranoid? I don't know. Maybe.
Nathan, I need to go now. Thanks for the drink.
Take care on your way. Oh, can't you just find another manager?
Rachel's already 18, so legally she can sign contracts without parental approval. I've been trying to tell her to quit, but every time I brought it up, we just ended up fighting. As a parent, there's really nothing much we can do, other than guiding them and being there when they need us. Sooner or later, we'll have to trust them to make their own decisions. And with everything we taught them, hopefully they'll make the right choices. What if she made the wrong choices? I can do a background check on that manager. If that'll ease your mind. Please do. Okay, give me a name. It's Morris. Last name Lester.
Morris Lester, got it. Oh, isn't he the guy in today's paper? I don't remember what the paper said. Anyway, I'll let you know if there's a hit. Hold on, I gotta take this. I just gotta go. I gotta go. I'd love to talk more about this with you. Let's meet again soon. Wait. You have my contact details. Call me if you ever need my help. Wait. Don't worry, I'm sure everything will be alright.
I used to manage a girlfriend. I've seen bad things happen.
Not bad?
Yeah. I was against her joining that pop group at first, but my wife, Rachel's mom, she convinced me to give it a chance. Ever since she's been gone, I don't know how to talk to Rachel. Rachel wanted to do more of her own stuff. I don't know what to do.
What do you mean by her own stuff?
Modeling and a solo singing career. It's a whole different world than the band. I'm familiar with that side of things.
That things will change, right?
Even if it is, I don't think it's for the better.
You survived being an idol. He managed to graduate and start a solo career. She sounds like someone who can take care of herself. Don't you think so?
She's not ready. I don't want her to get hurt. There are a lot of bad people out there. We don't want to take advantage of her.
You're her father. I understand you might be worried. However, you shouldn't hinder her from achieving your dreams.
I just want what's best for her.
Is it really what's best, though? I think she's born to soar.
But she's just a girl. A little girl.
Seriously. That's your argument?
I didn't mean to sound that way.
It doesn't matter whether she's a boy or girl. I'll drive her away if you keep acting like this. With your knowledge, you should be able to help her achieve her dream. I was once a stubborn young girl, too. Maybe I can give you a little advice on how to handle rebellious teens.
I'd love to hear it.
Is it okay if I stay a bit longer, Agent? Take all the time you need. Gingerbread coffee. Sweeten with brown sugar to satisfy the cookie monster. That does sound pretty good. Next day, Monday, September 28, 2020. What's in the news? Military personnel stationed along the East Coast to prevent immigrants flooding in from the Atlantic. Railroad representatives pushed the ministry for more accessible sedative. Doctor from Salaktown arrested for experimenting with child cloning. I got beta on Aqua. Mermaid from Atlantis and a friendly introvert. We love her. Everything's Full Metal conflict, video games in general, grandma. Spending with my life. With the Seattle to achieve my dream of advancing technology as far as we can. Trying to find the place and person where I belong, while doing something I love. I'll read 2 stories to catch up a little bit. French Kissing a Cat by Freya Fatima. So what's the craziest thing you've ever done in your life? Asked her dating app partner. Readable question to ask on your first date, Kari thought to herself. And in the first hour as well. Are you sure you want to know the answer? She asked back. Definitely. I think it's the best icebreaker question, and it's also a good indicator. Indicator of what? Or how compatible we are. And? Well, you know, I don't mean to offend you, but just in case your answer is, I cut someone in 12 parts, or I string on my Tinder date till they die, it's an indicator that I will immediately run away. Fair enough. Kari's interest in this guy increased. Maybe, just maybe, he could handle a story. So, do you want me to go first? He asked. I'll go first, although it's more like a crazy hobby of mine, not something I did just once. I could tell the story for the rest of my life. That'll be interesting. So, I love to kiss cats. That doesn't sound too crazy. I'm talking about lips to lips kissing, especially French. I love French kissing a cat.
What?
Her date responded, without hiding his surprise. You never tried it? If you feel uncomfortable kissing a male cat, you can always try doing it with a female one.
Are you telling me you've kissed a female cat before?
Both male and female, I'm pretty flexible.
He didn't say anything, which was unsurprising considering such secrets weren't usually revealed on the first date, or ever for many people.
It's not that bad, you know. Here, let me tell you about the first time I French kissed my cat. I was around 14, an age where most people feel curious about many things, especially sexual stuff. But I had no boyfriend, so I couldn't just ask someone to help me practice kissing. But I did have my biggest love at the time. Her name was Oren, and she was a beautiful orange cat, with a gorgeous pair of shiny orange eyes.
Her date still hadn't responded, so Akari continued.
It's
Seeing her beautiful eyes, I got an idea. I decided to borrow my mother's red lipstick and paint my lips red. It was a mess, but I was pretty satisfied with the result. I picked her up as usual, and without her knowing, I quickly put my lips on hers. Of course, she clawed her way off my grip, but just in a quick moment, I felt something weird. It's the same feeling. Yeah, when you ride the merry-go-round for the first time. No, roller coaster would be a better comparison. Scrolling is a little janky, sorry. After that, I started honing my skills, and now even stray cats don't mind me kissing them. To her surprise, Akari noticed that her date hadn't left her alone in the cafe, and like previous days, she told her story too. Are you crazy? The man asked her, with his eyebrows halfway to his hairline. Well, you did ask about the craziest thing I've ever done. Why? You're not interested in kissing a cat even after listening to my story? God no, I'm a dog person for God's sake. Swipe right to Outer Space by Freya Fatima. Hello there, I'm a female alien. That's what you call us, right? Our planet located in a galaxy the humans call Andromeda. I'm here to make sure my kind can survive longer and spread farther across the universe. That's what was written on her dating app profile. As a sci-fi nerd, I didn't need to think too much about swiping right. You know, the pictures she was using for her profile were just cosplay silhouettes and weird artsy spaceship-like photos. And here she is now, sipping her cup of Kapuo Wamena, looking exactly like the dream girl I've always fantasized about. Dark bobbed hair, thick eyebrows, sharp eyes, and a never-ending smile directed right at me. So yeah, I came to this place like 168 hours ago. There are 12 of us, and I'm the lucky one, being located in a place with such fantastic drinks, he says, after some time spending explaining about her task as an alien. I love sci-fi, but this might be too much. She didn't say anything about her job, where she was really born, or any other normal stuff. Maybe she's crazy. That must be it. No way such a perfect-looking girl could be perfect on the inside, too, I said to myself. So, what's your plan? Going to release the story as a novel, comic, game, a movie? I asked her. What story? The story you've been telling me. It sounds like it'd be really popular if we adapted it to the right medium. Oh, I've been telling this story through social media and dating apps. That's not enough. If it could be adapted to some sort of mainstream media, you could be rich, you know? You could be famous. Famous. Does that mean more of your people would know about the people on our mission? Definitely. And with exposure like that, it should be easier for me to meet humans with high-quality seeds. Yeah, I guess? Okay then, where should I start? Suddenly my phone starts ringing. It's my best friend. Pardon me for a minute, I need to get this, I say to her as I answer the call. Yo dude, who the hell is that chick you're with? She's freaking gorgeous, man. My friend's excited voice meets my ear. An overly loud whisper I'm immediately suspicious of. What? Are you at our usual coffee shop? Yeah bro, I'm lining up at the counter, don't you see me? Yep, there you are. Lucky bastard. Where'd you meet that beauty? Man, I always love it when they grow their hair super long and then color it like that. What do you mean? The chick, bro? Then, right in front of you? She looks just like my ideal girl. Long hair, all rainbow color like that, big eyes and those cheekbones. I put down my phone and stared at the brown cheek girl in front of me with a strange mix of emotions. Why are you looking at me like that? She asked. You really are an alien. Yeah, that's what I've been telling you this whole time. Fuck me. Finally, that was my task all along. So my place or yours? And please, no protection. Yeah, these stories have fun twists. Anyway, are you sure that would be okay? Yes. I mean, it would be really hard to pull off, but it's something that'll make a story different. Different isn't always good. It's a neat concept, but you need to handle it carefully and gracefully. I know. Hey, Gala. Good evening, everyone. Welcome, Mr. Gala. Am I interrupting? It looked like you were having an
questions discussion.
It's nothing. Teacher was just giving me feedback. It's for the book I'm writing.
Sounds like a heavy discussion.
What are you up to tonight?
I'm just planning to sit and relax. Please don't let my presence interrupt you.
No, don't worry about it.
Hold on. I need to interrupt you.
Sure, how can I help you?
Can I have a cup of... You remember my remedy?
Of course. You want to give it a try again?
My last order didn't quite fit the spot. Remember, it's tea and ginger. The last thing is definitely an ingredient different from either of those.
I meant what I said.
Remember, it's tea and ginger.
Tea and ginger. And something else. Look up what I tried before. Tea, ginger, cinnamon. And the others were like default. The Galahad. Especially from the smell, this looks like it.
Indeed. I had the same feeling.
I made a note of that mixture.
Perfect. Please don't mind me and continue with your discussion.
Don't worry, Mr. Gala, we're done for tonight. You're done. I have a lot of new homework thanks to you. You're welcome. Is Hyde coming?
No, I'm by myself.
It's gonna be a peaceful night then. That's mean, Freya. Oh, come on, I was just joking. He needs to learn how to communicate his thoughts nicely, though.
He might not look, but he's a very good person, you know?
He doesn't show it, that's for sure. That applies to you as well. Oh, come on.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome, Mr. Bayliss.
Heya.
How you doing, Freya?
Not good.
What's going on?
Teacher was just criticizing my story. It's called feedback. It's cruel. It's necessary.
It sounds interesting. What's the problem with the story?
The story is non-linear and quite complicated. Imagine a choose-your-own-adventure storybook, but for adults.
Sounds pretty common, so far.
Instead of telling you which page to turn to, each decision you make will give you a score.
What?
That score will determine which page you should go to.
That sounds more like a video game than a book.
I know, it's not that original. My target here is the mainstream audience.
Huh?
With the help of my publisher, this kind of book may go mainstream. Just like that Choose Your Own Adventure show on Netstream. There's nothing new about this in the marketing. The names involved. It reached the mainstream market.
That sounds interesting.
And highly ambitious, Freya. This is simpler than my other idea. Which is making a novel not in the form of a book, but in the form of story cards.
What?
I know, right? As if she has all the time in the world. And that's before even considering the sensitive issue of setting the story in a world where only humans exist.
What did you say?
No, there's a reason why it has to be that way. Just wait until I finish it, okay?
Alright.
Sensation said, though, I won't have time. Being a normal pitch to prove is already a steep climb. Let's not make the mountain even higher. Fair enough. What's the story all about? You'll have to wait for it. Don't want to spoil the fun. If you say so. Anyway, I haven't ordered anything. What do you want to drink tonight? Ginger latte, if you know how to make it. That'd be... If tea, milk, and ginger is friendly, the ginger milk? Straight up. We're experimenting. Ginger milk. Double ginger. Maybe it's a coffee latte. I'm gonna take on giving you Baileys, okay? I have one more try. So finicky. There we go. Here you go. Thanks. Damn, this is good. This kind of drinking skill. I wonder why your place isn't any bigger. What we have here now is more than enough for me. Whatever floats your boat, I guess. By the way, how are you doing, Baileys? Still busy with your last client? Oh, I'm done with her. Done? As in, you're dropping the project? Hey, I'm not crazy. I still need the money. Done as in I finished the job. I spent the past few days making sure. It's even done before the deadline. Did you like it? No, she loved it. She had some complaints, of course, but I convinced her. By using some design terms she doesn't understand. So you finish your job by bullshitting her. The finest bullshit, my lady. It's one survival skill every freelancer must have. Are you working on anything right now? Nope. I'm taking a break from work. I need to work on a few personal matters. Oh. that. By the way, I'm curious. How'd you guys meet? If you don't mind me asking. I don't mind. It's just that I was young and stupid, you know. Oh, come on. Who hasn't been there? Yeah, you're right. So, I was a bit of a player back in college. Ooh, spicy. I was going after my then best friend's girlfriend's friend. Wait, what? Okay, I'll say it slowly. I used to have a best friend. He's an incubus. Okay. Let's call him Cognac. Cognac has a girlfriend. Still following? And that girl has a friend. The friend is the one I'm after. Okay. Got it. She's one of the hottest girls there. But everyone knew she wasn't the type of girl you'd want to date. Why? I don't want to get into the details. But the succubus was super hot. And all the guys wanted to sleep with her. She was a pair too. Huh? That didn't sound like Lua at all. Guess it wasn't Lua, genius. Huh? Lua was my friend's girl. Holy moly! This is getting spicier. The other girl's name was... let's just call her Rose. Continue. I knew Lua thanks to her relationship with Cognac. That's a fake name you made up, right? Yes. Now, will you let me continue without interruptions? Okay. So I asked Lua a lot of things about Rose. She knew what I was after. It annoyed her so much. But I kept on bothering her. I mean, that was a pretty... active guy back then. So Lua came over to visit us at one point. I lived with Cognac back in college. I've been out and I got back just as Lua arrived. Total coincidence. We went into our place together and witnessed something surprising. What? Cognac was sleeping with Rose. Holy mother of moly! I saw the look on Lua's face. Disbelief, anger, sadness. And without even thinking about it, I punched Cognac in the face. And what? I got into a fight with him. Oh, I haven't told you. Cognac was a Brazilian jiu-jitsu tutor for kids. He's pretty good. Oh my. Yeah, I landed that one punch. And he beat me to a pulp. Easily. Lua begged me to stop fighting on her behalf. Like she begged Cognac. Hey, I wasn't kidding. I lost, but I don't give up so easily. I was beaten pretty bad. So Lua took care of my injuries. We grew closer after that. And I don't even remember the exact date. But suddenly, that friendship turned into a relationship. That was one hell of a story. I know. Have you seen her, by any chance? Yeah. Well, came by a few days ago. How's she doing? She hasn't returned any of my calls. Well, she's healthy, that's for sure. She got into an argument, though. With whom? There's this male model. A model? I didn't think she was that type of girl. To go out with a model. Oh, they weren't together. What were they arguing about? Oh, we were talking about your relationship. Who told us about the reason behind the fight? About your family and stuff. And did this guy hide during the discussion? What did he say? He didn't understand why Lua would insist on getting family approval. Considering, you know, but you're willing to leave your own family. You would do that for her? Yes, I would. I'm sick and tired of my family. Why would you say that? Let me tell you about my family. Or, I should say, most of my families. They all think they're so high and mighty. If you're born enough, there are certain unwritten rules you must follow. Your
reputation and appearance are everything. We must never ever make our family look bad. We can only befriend certain people. We must dress a certain way. We can only have certain jobs. Jobs that are deemed worthy and successful. Like being a doctor, lawyer, CEO. You know. Ever since I was a kid, I've always wanted to be an artist. I love drawing and creating art. However, becoming an artist is not something else to deem suitable. Unless you become the next Da Vinci. So when I switched from a business major to an art major, my parents went crazy, screamed like they were on fire. They told me that I'd never be rich or successful. All that because you chose an art degree? You wanna know the worst part? They blamed Lua. What do you mean? They blamed her for my decision to pursue my passion for art. Yet about her and kindness ruining the country. Accusing their religion of worshipping the Dark Lord. Accusing her of putting a spell on me and cursing the family. Whoa. I mean, come on, this is the 21st century. That's so not cool. I don't want to sound judgmental. But your family is racist. Tell me. This is the only person that can make me feel good. He showed me how I can be free and pursue my dreams. I don't understand why Lua so accepts the idea of reconciliation with my family. I just don't get it. I have no problem with leaving my family. I would happily leave them for the both of us. What about her? What about her and her family? You may be happy to leave your family. However, it may not be the same for her. Ella, you have something to say? Perhaps you can give us a different perspective. Sorry, I didn't mean to eat you. I couldn't help overhearing your story. I assumed that the person you're talking about is not an elf. Yes, she's a succubus. I see. I'm aware. For werewolves, the wolf pack is the most important thing. We'll put family before any other. We often have our own problems within the pack, but we won't abandon our family for anything. Perhaps that's also true for her and her. Besides, if you leave your family for her, wouldn't that make your parents believe that all those bad stereotypes about succubi are true? I never thought of it that way before. Whether you like it or not, your actions will have an impact on her as well. And if you leave your family for her, that will put her in a difficult spot. She might be responsible for your actions. There's nothing to feel bad about. I'm leaving my messy family to create a better one with her. It's easy for you to say that, but you don't know what the future holds. One day, circumstances might change. One day, one of you might regret your decisions. One day, you might use the I left my family for. We love each other. I'll be with her whatever the circumstances may be. You know, love is like a flame. It might burn fiercely at first, but over time it will die down if you don't maintain it. Maintaining it won't be easy. It will be hard. Because life is full of storms. In marriage, you will not survive on love alone. Whoa, that's deep. We'll have each other, and that's enough for us. Tell me, do you have health insurance? What? I'm an elf, but when I need health insurance, you'll need some. What for? Immortality is an elfin privilege. You lose it if your family disowns you. I've seen people go bankrupt because they fell ill or got seriously injured. Emptied your entire life savings for an $8 pill. Because in this country, they charge $20,000 for it. Tell me, and if you decide to have children, they won't have the same privileges you do. There's a high probability that they'll get bullied for being a half. There are consequences. It shouldn't be taken lightly. Think about it. Anyway, I've got to go. I apologize for my intrusion. No, thank you for your insight. I gotta go too. Wanna head out together? Sure. Thanks for doing it. And bye. What? You made me lose 2 customers in a minute. Hey, that wasn't on me. You're leaving anyway. Are you gonna write that in your book? It's a secret. If your book is based on this coffee shop, I could present a story like theirs in a world with only humans around. I'm not sure. Perhaps a hot drink will give you some inspiration? Sounds like a great idea. Spanish Sahara. Warm and cozy, just like a day in Barcelona. Is that true? Tuesday, September 29th, 2020. Who vows to stop major hospitals selling furious sedative in Coachella 2020 and reasons why you should go. Sports tournament in space might be only a few decades away. Hello, you two. You never really changed. Nope. But it was surprisingly nice. Catching up with people from back then. Thank you for forcing me to do it. Don't mention it. Hey. I'd like to order. The usual. Back to the experiment? I think the last one was fair. But there's no harm checking some other options. Alright. Anyway. So... There. I think that's a minute. Try this. Thank you. You said a different combination. What about you, Sahai? Would you like to order anything else? I'm good for now. I couldn't help overhearing you both. It sounds like you two go way back. We do. He was my bodyguard. Oh? Didn't you meet here? Yeah, when this was a bar. What happened exactly? He was getting his ass kicked by a couple of dwarves. Those 2 bastards. It wasn't a pretty sight, so I intervened. Aren't vampires supposed to be, you know, tough? Just because I'm a vampire doesn't mean I know Kung Fu. Besides, I've had a couple of drinks. I could have taken them both if I was sober. A couple? Really? You were fast. You told him I was your bodyguard. Wait, were you not his bodyguard? Not at the time. We didn't even know each other. But because of that whole fiasco, we both... And then this wasted vampire stuck to me. Like, well... Like... Obviously, he was too drunk to drive. So I hailed a cab. Turns out, he was also too drunk to tell the driver where he lived. And I was stuck with him until morning. Thanks for not leaving me on the street, Gala. Those dwarves could have killed me. Where were they? I'm not going to confirm or deny, but it's possible they may have had ties to the mob. And I might have lost some of their money in the stock. Hello. Thanks. They wanted me to launder their dirty money. So I decided to screw them over instead. I overheard what they were talking about before the fight started. I knew Hyde was innocent, that's why I helped him. He might be an annoying asshole, but he's not a thief. But a stroke of luck, the universe sending me a guardian angel in my time of need. So the next morning, I offered him a job as my bodyguard for real. After all the trouble you caused me the night before. Hey, I took you to breakfast. Don't tell me I count for nothing. I have to say, it wasn't my proudest. I was broke. Breakfast was an offer I couldn't refuse. It was the late 60s. It wasn't easy having a job, especially for people like me. Werewolves? War veterans. Ah, I see. So how did you go from working as a bodyguard to working in the hospital, Gala? Well, when he was working with me, I noticed. I'd prefer if we skip that. I'm sorry, I don't want to go into any details about it. That's alright. Forgive me for asking. I don't mind telling you the quick and dirty. Long story short, he helped me with something. Let's just say something from my past. Next to that, I found a new purpose. Helping other people live. Of course, it's not easy for a veteran werewolf to become a nurse. That's why I chose hospital admin instead. So you could say I go this guy my life. Thanks for his persistence in helping me when I need it. Thank you for sharing your story with me. I didn't expect such a tale from you. I know. Anyway, Agent, I'd like to order something now. What would you like? Can you make me a tea-based drink that's warm and cool at the same time? Yeah, that's good. Mint ginger tea. Here's your order. Exactly what I wanted. By the way, it feels like the place is missing something. Yeah, I haven't seen her today. Speak of the devil. Hello, good people. And one vampire. It's good to see you too. Freya. By the way, we were just talking about you. Oh, really? What about me? I was just surprised that you weren't here. Is that how you pick up girls young enough to be your granddaughter? That won't work on me. I'm no interest in. I got high standing. Oh. You look so tired. Or day at work? How could you tell? Bullet werewolves. Right. I showed Agent my draft. And I actually got some good feedback. That's good to hear. That could help. So I spent the whole day rewriting stuff. And I also did some stories for the paper. Overall, it was a good day.
Cyberpunk Love Hotel by Freya Fatima. Room service, get this order to room 512. The order came around 10:30 p.m. I was doing nothing, or in other words, I was waiting for an order to come. I was tasked to take a bottle of wine and a couple of packs of condoms. Yes, sometimes guests really do ask for things like this. Talk about being unprepared. The person in charge said the night gave me the requested items and let me out of the room to deliver them. From there, I went to the lobby and waited for the elevator to arrive. While I was waiting, a guest came in behind me and pressed the button to call the elevator. He looked at me in awe. I looked back at him, showing him the Smile Hotel management taught me. He smiled back. When he got in the elevator, he pushed the button for the 3rd floor. Silence filled the tiny room. As he said that, the guest pulled his phone from his pocket and started recording me. In a second, I thought, I didn't do anything about it. To be precise, I can't do anything about it. It's part of the job, after all. Ding! We reached the 3rd floor. The guest left while still pointing his camera at me. I waited alone until the elevator reached the 5th floor a few seconds later. I left the elevator and started moving towards room 512. When I was in front of the door, I rang the bell to let the occupants know I had arrived. It's here! I can hear the muffled voice of a woman. The door opened. Look, hun, they really do use a robot to deliver room service. The woman shouted back to her partner. Haha, that's so cool, the guy responded, trying to sound interested. Though I'm sure he was staring at the woman's butt and couldn't wait to use the stuff they ordered. I want to take a picture with the robot, okay? The woman said, a saccharine sweet, mildly nauseating tone. Sure, hun. Wait, are you sure it's okay to just hug the robot like that? Huh. You're not the man can still think with his big brain after all. It's fine. I saw that you even have a robot you can have sex with. I'm sure a simple hug won't matter, said the woman. That's a different model. What's next? You're gonna hug a Terminator? I screamed internally. Say cheese and 1, 2, 3. Flash. That's so cute. I was hoping you meant like more human-like though. They don't have the technology for that yet. Said the adult woman who's still having grasp the concept of look but don't touch. Okay, come on, darling. This robot has got other things to do. Let's just take a order and do his work. They took the order and closed the door. Ugh, humans. How the hell did your people manage to survive for so long in this universe? I wonder as I trundled back down to my room. The Anxious Boy and his love stories on public transport. Fair. Why can't I make scrolling easier? The day was hot, sunny, and humid, just like most days in Jakarta. I was standing inside a crowded bus, neither well-functioning air conditioning nor proper ventilation. Trying to keep myself productive in an uncomfortable environment by reading my recently bought copy of Haruki Murakami's Elephant Vanishes while listening to a random playlist on my old iPod. Despite the hellish conditions, you could see I was luckier than most because I was standing near the rear door, leaning my back on the side of the seat. Safe enough not to fall out of the bus, breezy enough to breathe freely. As I mentioned, I was on a public bus in Jakarta, so naturally I needed to be aware of my surroundings. Mostly keeping my belongings secure from pickpockets and other human pests. I glanced around the bus several times in between pages, and that was when I saw her. It's hard to describe her. She has no specific characteristic to differentiate her from other women. She's just like the perfect example of a girl you would walk past unseeing on the sidewalk every day. A girl you might glance at for a second, then a few steps later it would be hard even to remember her hair color, never mind what her eyes, her nose, her mouth look like. She was standing near the front door of the bus, not leaning on anything or anyone, not touching the bacteria-infested hand grip ceiling of the bus. Although to be fair, it might have been hard for her to reach the ribbon. But still, she stood there with the perfect balance of a tree root and healthy soul. She stood as if somebody had suddenly put the Venus de Milo in the bus, and she somehow fit perfectly without anyone noticing it happen. She's wearing a pair of earphones, wired, just like headphones were supposed to be, and a slight smile on her face. Sometimes she closed her eyes for a few moments, enjoying the music only she could hear. Her eyes rarely stayed in one place, kept wandering around the bus. Not too fast like someone anxious, but too slow like someone looking at something specific. Maybe she's the one, I thought. This isn't the first time a thought like this has crossed my mind. As a hopeless romantic, seeing any woman who piques my interest will immediately trigger a story in my imagination. A story of how I'll approach them, get to know them, with a proviso that just as I imagined it. Start dating, get married, have kids, grow old in our home, and so on and so on. Random kitties, that's what I'll call them. Unicorns among horses. The term doesn't apply to any cute girls I see, of course. It has to be someone special. Or at least someone I imagine to be special. The thing is, automatically imagining those stories whenever I happen across a random kitty is healthy. It puts a toll on my mind and, of course, my heart. It creates a lot of unhealthy expectations before any opportunities even arise. Oh shit, she looked at me. We made eye contact for a brief flash of seconds. I immediately returned to my book. Did she notice me staring at her? Did she see what I was thinking? My mind wouldn't stop spinning, overthinking, while my pulse beats double time in my ears. I continued staring at my book. And what just happened? I obviously can't read it properly. My eyes were looking at the words, but nothing was being processed other than thoughts of her. I glanced back at her. She was staring at me. Eye contact more than once. It has to mean something. Should I approach her and introduce myself? Yes I should. What if things go wrong? What's the worst thing that could happen if we introduce ourselves? First, it's a crowded bus, and moving from the rear door to the front room definitely annoys some people. Second, what if after we approach her, she becomes annoyed and... Oh come on, you're overthinking as usual. Nothing bad will happen, even if she does get annoyed. Don't dismiss me, nothing bad will happen. Oh, she might scream and say I'm a pervert, and then the whole bus will beat me to death. Oh, and the worst option? What if we introduce ourselves, and then it turns out she's not like we imagined her to be? All that time and energy will be wasted, exchanged for years of agony. Everything will be fine, don't worry so much. No matter what happens in a second, you have to try something first. No, there's too much at risk. The debate is still raging inside my head, and that's when it happens. We make eye contact again. This time it lasts longer than a few seconds. And then, she smiled. There's a small curve on those perfectly average, beautiful lips. I quickly returned to my book. See, you have to do something. But... Remember that girl with the violin we saw on the train to Yogyakarta a few years ago? Of course I remember. Exactly. She was just a random person that sat across from me on the train. We don't even remember what month it was, but we still remember the room coat she was wearing, the violin case she put in the compartment, the reddish hair, and the pixie cut. Stop it, that was different. And you might have saved ourselves a lot of embarrassment by not talking to her. Thoughts, the noise, the internal dialogue. It won't stop. I was sweating. Not because of the heat. Cold sweat. This hat. Stop! I screamed internally. Everything stopped. And just in time, my old iPod barely shuffled to explosions in these spaces. The only moment we were alone. I cranked up the volume, put my book in my bag, and just breathed. Yes, I might lose the chance to meet the one by doing this, but at least, as long as I don't know her, she's perfect. As far as I know, she might be listening to explosions in space. As far as I know, she might be a big fan of Arakami and Final Dreams X. Final Dreams 9. As far as I know, she might be single. As far as I know, she might be a 100% perfect match for me that I believe can't exist if my knowledge of her goes any farther than what I know right now. Besides, as the old saying goes, if it's meant to be, it will be. The bus stopped in front of the plaza tonight, my destination. It's time for me to go. I decided not look in her direction as I left. Knowing that if I looked at her, it would be the last time I ever saw her. That's too hard for a hopeless romantic like me. I left the bus and enjoyed the warm sun and breathed fresh air. Finally out of that metal finger's box. That's when it happened. I turned my head to the right, and there she was, standing alone enjoying the breeze, now that she was free of the roasting metal box with human stained glass. She turned her head to the left, showing a glimmer of surprise at seeing me standing there. After that, she smiled. So if it's meant to be, it will be? That's good to hear. But please, don't forget to take a break. It's easy to get carried away by work when you're on a roll.
Will do, sir. And speaking of hospitals, how's your hospital adminning life going? It's not even a word. Actually, I'm not even sure what you even do there. It's pretty boring to talk about. But mostly I handle operational stuff happening in the hospital. Things like how much a specialist costs and how much it affects our income. I also deal with patients and their families. If they require intensive care, such as operations, I go through what we do and how much it would cost them. Kinda like the biz dev for people's lives then. You could say. Damn, that sounds complicated and hard. That's why I'm suited for my job. Someone who gets very emotionally attached to patients would find this job pretty tough. Whereas heartless people, like my friend, only see it from a business perspective. Good point. Why don't people really talk about your kind of job? I guess most people don't really notice we exist, or think about the necessity. Exactly! It's an interesting job, yet no one talks about it. Maybe because most admins are just like me. We rarely talk about work inside the hospital. Why? For me, I just don't find any reason to. It's the patient's personal lives anyway. Just professionalism and loyalty. You should keep hold of that mindset, especially in front of this lady here. He needs to be a bit less loyal. But you've been doing this job for a while, right? Almost 50 years. Wow, I didn't know that. Wait. 50 years in the same position? Huh? Holy... It's for a promotion, man! They keep offering me new positions. We'll see, manager. Take it! Not interested. Why? It's not something I want. Besides, as I told you before, I fit perfectly in this position. But it still must be better if you take the promotion, right? Of course. What I get at the moment is more than enough for me right now. And I still get raises while I'm doing this job. I really can't figure you out. Ask Gala for you. Anyway, I should have started soon. It was nice catching up with both of you. Are you gonna stay, Hyde? Yeah, I'm still enjoying the vibes here. I'll see you in a few weeks. Yep. Safe trip. See you around, it. And you, yeah. See ya. Take care on your way. You know, it was kind of hard to believe. Someone like Gala could be your best friend. You were just talking about that before you arrived. Oh, really? Yeah, I missed an interesting story. So, how'd you guys meet? Seriously, I have to retell the story? Yes. Come on, you're not going anywhere, right? Alright then. You went into space back when it was a... Whoa. I knew Gala used to be in the army. I mean, he's got the build to be on the front line. Still though, why do you make the jump from, how should I say this, a very physical job to medic? Oh, he's not comfortable talking about it right now. But you know why, right? You're trying to squeeze the story from me. Obviously. He doesn't want to talk about it. That's him, not you. Seriously, Freya. Come on. I won't get into details. But going to war. It messes with your head. Oh. You see why Gala doesn't want to talk about it, huh? I don't get it, but it must be difficult. Especially back then. The only thing he was confident in was his strength, so he only did work that relied on his muscle. That wouldn't help him get over his trauma though, right? Of course not. It was the only thing he could. Or at least, it was the only thing he thought he could. But you hired him for his muscle. I didn't know about all that at the time. Besides, he's good at being a bodyguard. And we weren't that close yet. So, no personal feelings. I needed his strength. But then I got to be interested. Interested? I think he's a cool person. That's all. And after a few months, I noticed his problem. I suggested he talk about it with someone, seek help, which he refused. No surprises there. But I kinda pushed him to do it. How? It's gone. Eventually, he did go to get professional help. Of course, I have no idea what happened in his therapy sessions. But in the end, he found a new purpose in his life. He quit working for me. And not so long after that, he started working at the hospital. And he's been working. Good evening, everyone. Oh boy. Good evening. It's nice to see you again. We also got to see you, barista. By the way, I didn't catch your name the last time you visited. Do you have a name? Name? Sure have. On Earth, please call us Neil. Neil. Yes. Neil. Is that your real name? Oh, of course not. Due to the nature of our communication, we do not really need trivial things like names to interact. But from what you have learned here, it seems like the name Neil has a lot of associations with Earthling efforts in intergalactic exploration. I get what you mean. I believe we did not meet the last time we were here. I saw you from afar when you left the coffee shop a few days ago. So, hello. My name is Freya. You can say I'm a regular here. And you, sir? Right. You come here often? For someone who doesn't live in Seattle, yeah. Ooh, you're not from around? Neither are we. Where do you come from? Far away. By far away, you mean a few thousand miles? More? More? Much more. More to the point that your strange calculation system means nothing. That sounds far away indeed. What are you doing here in Seattle? And do all your kind just like this? Oh, this? We chose this appearance based on the image we saw when you first arrived. Image? Ah, Jeremy Gendry album cover. No wonder you look familiar. As for what we are doing, this place is really the perfect spot to practice our communication skills with Earthlings. But before that, please let us order something from the barista. What do you want to drink tonight? The usual. That is how you say it, yes? Yes. So, anything? Yes. You'll be able to taste the difference anyway. You really can't taste anything? Yes. What? I can brew a drink that can make you feel something. Interesting premise. Well, we doubt you'll be able to do that. Funds accepted. Please, prize us. I think there might have been a recipe in one of those little transition interludes. I don't remember. All of it here. Maybe if I just look for something with an extreme flavor profile of some sort. Oh.
Actually, there's like a recipe that the official Twitter put out. It's supposed to be space themed for Neil. It was like, it definitely had milk and honey and something else. What was it? Milky Way, it has to be it. Let's see, I hope I got this right. Thank you. What the? Interesting. Before you ask, yes, that's how they drink. This. What is this? You've never been able to taste anything in your life. But this is a breakthrough. We ought to report immediately. Done. Thank you so much, from all of our kind. You are one interesting person. Thank you. That was a compliment, yes? Normally, yes. But you can't be so sure, Freya. That definitely was the highest form of compliment. What are you, Neil? Us? We are travelers. Doing a job in the space you call Milky Way. What kind of job? We are tasked with the mission to spread our seeds. You really are here to find a date. All the way from a galaxy far, far away. Wow. The chance on purpose exists everywhere in the universe. Get attacked, old man? Not really. You have a valid point. We do not understand. But we are glad if we can make you laugh. The pleasure was mine. If I may ask, why do you have to agree with us? We are sorry, but that is classified information. Oh man. But we believe it is alright to share with you tonight. Thanks to this eye-opening drink from the barista. I owe you the story. So why? Everyone, including us and you and everyone else, is tasked to keep the balance of the universe. But sometimes it is hard for some civilizations to maintain balance by themselves. Because unknown threats that are beyond each civilization's power can appear. And that is where we come in. I still don't see the relationship between that and impregnating us. You're quite dense, aren't you? Hey. You came here to give seeds. So a half-breed of your kind can be born on Earth. That is correct. The half-breeds will be half Earthling and half whatever you are. Yes. Assuming that you have some powers that we can't comprehend. You're trying to make sure Earth will have its own protection. That is 100% correct. Holy shit. You're trying to give us a superhero? Yes, that is what your people will call the Protector. Why go through all the hassle? Sounds like a lot of work. Why not just explain this to someone? I'm sure a lot of women wouldn't mind giving birth to a superhero. Sadly, it is not that simple. The future Protector has to be someone that loves this planet more than anything. You have to be born out of love, which we have learned is a very complicated feeling on Earth. We have it easier back home due to the nature of our communication. We understand everyone deeply by default. So, everyone on our planet loves each other from the moment they're born. That sounds beautiful. And creepy. Why?
Sounds like your plan is a giant spherical orgy. That was a badly chosen word. But it is roughly similar to the truth. Oh my. If what you say is true, shouldn't we help them to get laid with love? Guidance is all we need. Otherwise, he might be responsible for the birth of a super evil person instead. Well, how's the mission going so far? We cannot say it is going well. I'm not surprised, with how quirky and unique you are. Not many women can handle that. Could you handle them though? Me? I don't know, what do you think? You're a pretty adventurous girl. I wouldn't be surprised if you decided to go on a date. Or maybe go further. If you got you into a story. Oh, you're not offended by that? Not in the slightest. You're wrong though. I go on a date with them, but I don't like to sleep around. Really. To be honest, I didn't expect it. Yeah, I get that a lot. People often mistake me for someone who gets around a lot. Excuse me, miss. From what we gather, does it think you're willing to breed with us in exchange for our stories? Oh, no wonder your mission isn't going well. I don't mind going out with you for a drink or dinner in exchange for stories. But only sleep with someone I'm serious about. But our mission is serious. It's not that. You really don't have to be my boyfriend or husband if you want to sleep with me. You ever heard those terms before? Let's check them once again. This is very strange. According to what we found, many Earthlings mate with one person exclusively for their entire lives. Yes, it's called commitment. Such a strange concept. Then why, with such rules, do you still face overpopulation problem? Now that you mention it, we don't have enough control of ourselves. And those in charge also don't have enough control of us. Not to mention, some races live for a very, very long time. So even though there are rules about it, and they can be strictly enforced, a lot of people still break them. We know Earthlings supposed to thought the concept of free will, but we thought your kind also loved the concept of restraint and taking care of the planet. It's a lot of try. At least that's what we gather from your information network. Theoretically, that should be the case. But Earthlings are stupid. That's the easiest way to put it. We learned so much today. But we have another question for Miss Freya. Ask away. How can we become your husband? First of all, I would suggest going step by step. Most of the time you start by dating. Boyfriends or girlfriends, you know? Before you talk about marriage. Oh, okay. So... music up. OBS, are you freaking out on me again? How can we become your boyfriend? You could start by asking her whether she's actually single. Understood. So, Miss Freya, are you single? Yes, I am single. Do you want to be our girlfriend? Now, the path to starting the day varies between people, but usually it takes some time before you want to commit yourself to someone. Wow. The breeding process on Earth is surely extremely complicated. And it can be easier if you're a smooth talker. Smooth talker? Someone good at communicating with others. That would be really challenging for us. Even after all that, making kids is still in a totally different league. Most women prefer if their male partners wear condoms. condoms? It's something you wear to prevent pregnancy. Why would you do the mating ritual if you do not want to have offspring? Pleasure. All this information is too much to process in one evening. So, we talked about using condoms. But how do your kind have sex? Like, seeing how you drink. A condom might be something you can't use at all. That is true. How do you? We are pretty flexible with that. But we cannot tell you the details. Unless we agree to do the mating ritual. Why is it super freaky? Yep. I don't want to imagine how it's done. Oh, you do not need to worry. We will not hurt anyone physically or mentally. Yeah, not so sure about that. Especially the mental part. We did our research. And we tried it on the testing object we made. It was proven. The mental capacity of Earthlings is far more complicated than anything else on Earth, sir. Oh, you did not know that. Being born on Earth sounds very difficult. It is. I have to agree with that. Anyway, thank you so much for the information you have given us today. It means a lot for our mission. We have to report our findings to the base. How will you proceed with your mission with this newfound information? We are not sure yet. It is yet to be discussed, however. It was really nice talking with all of you. You're welcome. You're off now. Bye. Take care on your way, sir. That was really something. Indeed. You said the first time they came here was for a date, right? Yeah, but their date never came. And then they mistook Miss Myrtle for their date. The game developer work? I dread to think how that went. Just pretty awkward. But you can't be angry with such naivety. I guess so. By the way, has a young woman been back since I spoke with her last time? You mean Miss Lua? Yeah, her. Showing some concern now, are you? I'm just curious. No, I haven't seen her since then. But her boyfriend did come a few days ago. And Frey was being pretty nosy, to the point that Mr. Gallo joined the discussion. My. You really have a knack for starting trouble. Sadly, I have to agree with that. It's not easy to make Gallo join a random conversation. Unless it really piques his interest. Or it annoys him. I don't know how to react to that. Well, I need to catch a flight to the city tomorrow. So I'm off for the day. Oh? You're leaving Seattle so soon? And it's only for a week or so. I'll be back here sooner than you know. Oh, well, it'll be a peaceful week then. Anyway, I need to get going as well. Thank you for letting me stay without ordering anything. I didn't even notice it. You really don't care about business. She didn't order anything, but she did attract people to the coffee shop. That's one way to put it. Anyway, Freya, you want to share a cab? Thanks, but I'm riding my bike. Alright. See you around. Take care on your way, folks. Go to a special. Wednesday, September 30th, 2020. Dwarven made cars face challenge against an unexpected competitor. The Mother Earth organization tries to save more forests.
Protests arise over government treatment of Atlantic immigrants. ACAB. Okay, 2 more stories and we all cut up. A stray boy in a lonely camp by Gray Fatima. Midnight. The boy arrives at his home. The taking sun of the cooling engine fills the dark, empty garage, followed by the scrape of the rusty metal door being forcibly closed. He leaves the garage, and there she is waiting for him to come back home. He always waits in the same spot, on the same time. The boy always smiles when he sees her. The cat calls the boy, demanding the treatment she always receives from him every night, in the same spot, around the same time. He laughs quietly as he walks up to join her. You've been waiting for me, haven't you? Come here, says the boy to the cat while he pets her fur. The cat purrs loudly and refuses to stand still. She dances around him, and tall on 2 feet, rubs her head against his shoulder, and shares her affection while enjoying their nightly routine. Until suddenly, the boy decides that their interaction is enough. He stands up, walks away from her, and closes his door. The cat understands that their time for a day is up. They both return to their own life. The boy did not give the cat something to eat, and the cat did not seek to help him life. For she was not his, and he was not hers. Loving in Silence by Freya Fatima. It was a Saturday night. As usual, I picked her up from her apartment for another Saturday night ride. I used the word another, but to be honest, it was the first actual Saturday night in a date we've done since I don't even know. It wasn't every week a cool event related to our hobby happened, so we, or I suppose I should say, weren't going to miss this chance for a cozy evening in her apartment. We'd only been dating for 4 months, and I kid you not, we couldn't have been more different. I'm the type of person who feels restless if I don't go out on the weekend. While she preferred to lock her apartment inside, flush the key down the toilet, and never leave again. That's why me going out to her apartment on the weekend is the fairest option for both of us. I mean, we can just order food online and chill without having to worry about the traffic. Ain't that cool? That's what she said whenever I asked if she wanted to eat out somewhere. That happened a lot in the first month together. After that, I just tried to get used to it. We drove to the event. It wasn't that far, but traffic's always ridiculous on the weekend. Throughout the drive, we rarely spoke. Total silence except for the music coming from her playlist. If she knew the songs, we would sing along to the song. If not, then total silence it was. When we arrived at the event, she changed. She became the most outgoing, friendly, and talkative person around. Even I was nothing compared to her, and I usually consider myself a very talkative person. We said hi to everyone we knew, and some we didn't. Then we tried all the games being showcased there. We sat next to each other, trying one game after another, commenting on the story, art, music, gameplay, atmosphere, and any other aspect you might use to judge a game. But when we played, we just played. No talking during the play. Total silence, as if she was recharging spent energy from all the interactions she had before. Back in her apartment, we didn't talk about it. We made 2 cups of green tea latte for both. And then we watched Netflix together with only a few words traded. Don't you feel bored dating me? She asked. Really, this again? I know. I'm sorry to bring this up again. But you were so silent today, I thought you were mad at me. Honey, I'm not mad at you. Why would I? I don't know, it's just that I'm super introverted, you're super extroverted, and there are times when I feel like I'm holding you back from your true self. You're just overthinking it, honey. And that was amazing. I can't thank you enough for being willing to join me and sacrifice your stay-at-home relaxation time. We both know how much you love staying in, and how rarely you get the chance to do it. Why do you like me? You've asked this question a dozen times in the last 4 months. I nudged her and smiled. I just wanted to make sure, she said, and started crying. Hey, don't be sad, it's okay. And to answer your question, I don't know why I love you. Good answer again. Because it's true. All I know is I feel comfortable about it. I just feel happy, calm, and I don't know. Do I need to know? It sounds dangerous, liking someone without knowing the reason. I don't believe you, dear. I was confused for the longest time before I realized. It's actually the best feeling I've ever had. How about you? Why do you like me? Who said I liked you? I was speechless for a moment. She grinned at me and giggled to the remains of her tears. You should have seen her face. Oh my god, don't mess around with that. You almost gave me a heart attack. Good. You mean you weren't lying about your feelings? He smiled. You haven't answered my question. It's a secret. It's not fair, I told you mine. I hate to break it to you, but I don't know. It's not a proper answer, my dear. It's an honest one. I know. He stayed silent again. So, that was my introvert girlfriend and me. My answer to her was obviously fine. Not knowing why you like someone is super scary. But I never imagined being able to feel like that for anyone other than her. At least that's how I wish things could be. I thought as I drove back home, alone in my car, and told us my friends. Welcome. Good evening, sir. Hello. I'm from the Federal Immigration Regulation and Enforcement Division, or FIRE for short. How may I help you? We've heard reports of alien sightings in this area. We take the issue of illegal interstellar immigration seriously. Have you seen any creatures you would consider to be alien in nature? I don't think so. But what should I be looking for? What's the alien look like? We're not 100% sure. We're going to some eyewitnesses. It's wearing a spacesuit or something similar. That's a pretty eye-catching outfit. You'd think an illegal alien would try to blend in better, right? To avoid attention, you know? That is a very good point. In fact, there might be a solid possibility that we have been running around after false testimony. They are superior creatures after all. Thank you for the help. If you see any suspicious activities, please contact us through our website. Will do, sir. You don't want to drink anything before leaving? Take care on your way. Yeah. You really need to be more careful, Neil. Huh?
Good evening, Agent.
Yo. Hello, Miss Aqua, Miss Myrtle. Have you both been somewhere together?
We meant to meet here. This is a coincidence we arrived at the same time.
Would you like to order anything?
You want to order first?
Yeah, you go first.
Okay. Can I have a separate green tea with a lot of mint?
Green tea, green tea. Alright. Your drink's ready.
Oh. This looks really fresh.
I call this Marrakech, inspired by its origin.
Marrakech in Morocco? Heard the people there really love tea. Let's give this a try then. Oh my. It's warm, very refreshing. No wonder Morocco is often associated with tea.
How about you, Miss Myrtle? Do you want to order right away? Sure. I'll have to set the rate. What have I tried before? Mr. Tetsuri? Huh. Is there anything wrong? No. Better than I thought it would be, actually. The taste is really authentic. Just like the Tetsuri you get in Southeast Asia. Thank you for the compliment.
Where did you learn to make it?
I traveled around Southeast Asia a few years ago.
So you learned about it in Malaysia?
Yes. And from videos on the internet.
So, how are things going in the office?
As usual. Tiring. Thanks to you and your team. There is some good progress with a problem we've been stuck on for a while.
I'm glad I could be of help. It's not everything our research can have an impact as direct as this. And only a few weeks after publication, no less.
The thing is, even with your help, we still need to do a ridiculous amount of overtime. Make sure the game will be available for the holiday season. French. They hate it.
Oh. I want to say please don't forget to rest. I'm sure it won't be that easy for you and the team.
Those executives can care about us. Overtime is not mandatory, they'll say. Please see your family, get some rest. But we all know. Then optional overtime is a passive-aggressive move. We'll stay longer in the office anyway. Because if you go home earlier than the others, you'll feel bad for them.
I feel guilty. I understand that so much.
I hate to admit it. But yeah, it's guilt.
I wish I could help you. Or at least say something to boost your morale. Sadly, I'm not the right person to give you advice about that. For guilt is something that also bothers me a lot. I go for things I shouldn't feel guilty about. And you know what makes it worse? I know the state of the industry. But it still saddens me to realize that my favorite series was born out of such sacrifice. I'm sorry I ruined the mood for everyone.
Don't worry about it, Aqua. I'm not that bad off, you know. At least the company gives us decent compensation. Healthcare, bonuses, and so on. And we're already used to this. So don't you worry about me, okay?
Getting used to unhealthy working conditions shouldn't be a norm.
Hey, cheer up. Remember, your research helps us out a lot. Next year, the rest of the development is going to be so much easier. Sorry, I need to drink myself. I'm hitting my limit. Hey, we're almost at the end of the stream anyway. I'll get. How's your game doing, by the way?
Actually, I have some good news about it.
What is it?
The game got approved to be showcased at MAX West this year.
That's really good news. Congrats!
Thank you.
I could just say Max Fest. Max. So, what's the problem then?
I haven't confirmed my attendance to the organizer.
Why? Confirm it. Fast. Or to give your spot to another indie.
I'm just not sure about it.
What's stopping you? Boss?
The booth is free for indies.
That's good then. And the event's even in Seattle. You don't need to spend anything on travel or accommodation. It's a golden ticket.
But I'm not that confident.
You passed the selection process, right? That should be enough validation to reassure you of the game's quality. If I'm not mistaken. The judges are usually prolific people in the industry.
and also a senior journalist.
I know. But I told you about my game, right? It's pretty non-traditional. And thousands of people will be visiting Max. Expecting Full Metal Conflict and other bigger games.
Every game has its own market, you know? And you'll be in the indie area. People know what to expect there. Gamers aren't stupid.
Let some readers visit the booth. What if they don't like my game and say bad things about it? Or about me?
It's not gonna happen. It's an expo, not the internet. People are way nicer in real life.
Even after all that, I'll still be there by myself for the whole event.
That one is a problem, yeah.
I mean, not many people is already scary enough. Doing it for 4 days straight? Showing my baby to the public. I just can't imagine the horror.
You know what?
Huh?
So far, my schedule is pretty empty around then. If things stay this way until MX, I'll come with you.
No, you don't have to do that. Even if you're free then. You shouldn't waste your time on me. Relax or something.
That's no bother. I'll be going to the event anyway. Might as well come with the exhibitor badge.
What about your company's booth?
Don't worry about it. There are hundreds of us. I can just ask my lead to skip this year.
But...
I'm coming with you. Whether you like it or not.
Oh, okay.
Good. Now, what are you going to show the game on?
I'll have a laptop and a smartphone.
Is the expo build ready?
Full build.
You're not planning to showcase the full version, right?
The plan?
Don't. I can give you the guidelines on what to have for the expo build. You have the game with you now?
It's on my phone. I can send you the build now if you want.
Do so.
Okay.
Got it. Now let's see. Hello, Miss Rachel. Hi, Agent. What's wrong?
Huh?
Nothing. I've just been practicing all day and I'm pretty tired. Are you having a concert soon? Don't tell anything yet. It'll be announced tomorrow. I'm going to perform at Coachella next week. You're still adding new performers? Yeah, you might say that those announced this late are... backups. But still the biggest festival in the country. Yes. And I'm excited for it. I think I should celebrate with a special drink. Something sweet. What do you want to order? Sweet hot chocolate. Hot chocolate. Here's your order. Thank you. How is it?
don't think this is what I ordered. I mean, it's a cup of hot chocolate. There's nothing special about it.
I'm sorry for the mistake.
It's okay.
Please don't hesitate to call me if you need anything else.
Thanks.
Other than the instruction on the loading screen, but I put in a time limit on how long they can play.
Why? Wouldn't that break their immersion?
Probably, but in case there's a good reaction to it. You might have people lining up to play your game. Don't want to make them wait too long.
That makes sense.
If you don't want to put a time limit on it, try ending the demo with a cliffhanger. That should get people's attention.
Noted. Dad? What are you doing here? After what you did at the studio this evening?
I was worried. I couldn't find you around the studio. So I thought you'd be here. Well, we can practice the first.
And now you're causing another ruckus.
We're sorry. We didn't mean to cause you.
You are sorry. I don't have anything to be sorry for.
Well, yeah, I better work.
And what are you having?
What'd you recommend?
Might I suggest a cup of Spanish Sahara?
What is that?
It's basically a hot chocolate with milk and ginger.
Smells delicious. I'll take that Spanish.
Feels like a cinnamon stick.
You can raise her. My. This is amazing.
How'd you like it? Dad.
Yes?
Please just go home after you finish your drink.
Not until you leave that good-for-nothing pervert.
I need him. He's gonna help me become more successful.
I know Moritz. He's not a good person.
The industry has changed, Dad. It's not like 20 years ago. Besides, since you left, he's been growing his brand, making his name. Managing a lot of the stars so they become superstars.
I still have my moments in the industry. He hasn't changed much. And even if he has, it wasn't for the better.
You're just being paranoid. First you were afraid of how my fans would treat me. Now you're afraid of the industry too. What's next? You lock me in the house because you're afraid of the air I'm breathing?
You're just too young to understand.
Then make me understand. Because this is definitely not helping. There are better ways. Didn't you learn anything from Mom? We were together for almost 15 years. But you learned nothing. Not even how to talk to your own daughter.
Wait. I'm sorry. But I'm trying, okay?
Try harder. Because right now, you're not helping anyone. Not me, not you, no one.
I know. But give me a chance. You know what? It will take time for me. But I am learning. Or, you know, I could return to the industry. I could try to.
Dad, are you out of your mind? You've been out of touch for so long.
I told you I haven't won. Not that out of touch. Of course, there are things I need to do. But
It doesn't work that way, Dad. You know that. Going from a girl band to a solo career won't be easy. If I take things slow, I'll lose all my momentum.
If you don't want me to be your mentor, Can you at least choose someone other than Boris?
I don't think so. Mr. Lester is at the high point of his career right now. It's my best chance right now. Don't be too paranoid, okay? I've made my decision. Now, please go home. Relax. And don't ever come to the studio again. I'm going back. I need to practice for the festival. It's only a few days away. There's a big chance to boost my presence as a solo artist.
When are you going to be home?
I don't know. I'll be staying at the hotel the label provided.
But that's...
See you then.
Wait, Rachel? Excuse me, Ms. Agent.
I'm sorry about what just happened. You don't have to apologize.
We're busy minding our own business anyway.
What? You didn't hear their argument, Myrtle?
Of course I heard them. I just chose to ignore most of it. It's none of my business, is it?
That's amazing.
What's so amazing about that?
I don't think I can do that. Dividing and focusing my attention so completely. Especially when there's an argument like that.
Are you saying you weren't listening to my advice and you're focusing on them instead?
No, I was listening. I made notes.
See, you didn't even realize. But you are capable of focusing your attention.
Just mention it. It happens naturally, I guess. Being born into a big family is useful after all.
Yeah, sometimes we don't realize what we're capable of doing. By the way, you want to head back now?
Yeah, it's pretty late.
No, Agent, we're leaving. Hope you had a good time.
Try to drinks as usual.
Please take care on your way home. I guess that's all for today. Oh, you're back, Mr. Hendrick. Are you alright, sir? Sir? Oh. Yes, yes. Please don't worry about me. Did you manage to catch up with Miss Rachel? No. I lost her. I'm sorry to hear that. But I'm sure she's alright. Oh, great. By the way, pardon me for asking. Yes. About your arguments with Miss Rachel. Something kept bugging me. What's that? Why did you leave the music industry? No, that's not that thing. You don't have to tell me if it makes you uncomfortable. Oh, that's fine. I left around 20 years ago. Just as we were welcoming the beginning of the new millennium. It was a great time for growth. They were huge in the 90s. Tell me about it. And they were still enjoying the leftover sensation of the past decade. I met my wife while working. She worked for a record. That's how we met. I decided to get married and settle down. I wanted a peace.
You didn't find peace managing girl bands?
Oh gosh. Politics, the dark side of the industry, none of it's good. What hit me hardest was the fans. Toxic fans are the worst. The teenage girls especially. They were crazy about their idols. To the point where they started doing really unimaginable stuff. Like what? Spending all their money trying to copy the superstar lifestyle, abandoning their responsibilities, their families, and then they're worse. They sexualized the girls in every way you could possibly imagine. They did it stalking, outright sexual assault. It was before the internet knew. I mean, the internet existed. But it wasn't as mainstream as it is. I wasn't even the target of it. But it haunted me. It was everywhere. Don't talk to me about this. I couldn't sleep that night. Not getting enough sleep is dangerous for cats.
What do you do for a living now?
After we got married, my wife and I opened a record store. It's not big, but we have a very specific one. We're niche, but they love us for it. It's more than enough room.
You said you're still in touch with your friends in the music industry.
They visit my place from time to time. And we all meet up at least once a year. Usually it's like this. So I was looking at it. I should go.
Are you gonna be alright by yourself?
Don't worry about it. I'm no man. We're stronger than most people. See you. And sorry for bringing our fight to this.
Don't worry about it.
Alright. Goodbye.
Bitter heart. Tell us if you try to hide. Thursday, October 1st. Coachella organizer reminds parents not to allow their children to attend unsupervised. Rachel Valencia returned to perform at Coachella 2020. Gail Nyman and Maruki Harukami to collaborate for a new IP. That's all the time we have for Shane. Didn't quite get every order perfect, that's okay. Well, then get back to work, making some coffee and other drinks next time. Maybe I'll catch you then.